extent of your experience is so amazing. You have worked, hospitals and state health departments and federal it is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're very fortunate.
Yes. We're going to go back a little bit.
Okay.
And what sparked your interest in infection prevention? I know you mentioned that hospital epi course. Is that kind of where the light went on and you went, you know what?
I think that was primarily it, but also my mom spent a lot of time in and out of, she had some health challenges and she was, did dialysis, fortunately at home, but she did have to go to the dialysis clinic, which, as you know, is ripe for infections. And it's kind of like a when and not a if. I mean, I remember one time she had peritonitis, which of course can be very bad. And she actually remembered that she said, she didn't do something right? So even her as a non-clinician knew that I think she had missed some kind of step in the process and not saying that was it, but she was aware that, and she advocated for herself in the hospital. They're like, hey, close the door. This is sterile when you're changing my bags, things like that. So I think that helped a lot because, I saw her, but also the class. And I've always liked, I guess, germs, so to speak, and microbes and science. So 20 years, even as a child to an adult, I always knew I would do something in science or healthcare. It may have changed from pharmacists to PTs to this, but I've always just kind of liked germs and microbes. And so infection prevention. And also, honestly, when I went to Michigan, I had intended to potentially get my doctorate like right after, but I decided not to. Michigan and I needed a break, too many colds and bronchitis. And so then I just went ahead on and just started working, just plowing through. And it was always in the back of my mind. But again, trying to get somebody to give you that first chance. And so I just kind of was on the periphery. I was always like the HEI epidemiologist, the policy person, but not the actual, infection preventionist.
Yes. Okay. You have done a lot to make the way easier for those behind you.
I try.
And you have done a lot.
Okay, well, thank you.
You have done a lot. So tell me about some of that work. So going back to your open letter, you talked about your conversations with your alma mater, with Michigan. How that came about.
Okay, so about 10 years in, so I was working at DC at the time on HI policy, and I'm not sure what sparked it, but I just said, we are doing our students a disservice if we're graduating them with a hospital molecular epi, concentration, right, in epidemiology. They're not able to go out and just get that IP job,
but
right?
They cannot work in a hospital afterwards.
Right. It seems like it, right? It seems like that. And and at that time, I myself was looking at USF and their infection control certificate. And I just said to them, just kind of as an alum, hey, I've seen this program at this school. I don't know what your thoughts are. And I actually just sent it to like the main, I don't even know who I sent it to, probably like the secretary or like just the main epi number email.
So
and,
just to the department itself.
Just to the department, yes.
Okay.
My words are failing me. Friday afternoon.
It's that simple. Just write something to the department.
I did. Okay. And I said, hey, this is what I've seen. I've been out of school like 10 years now. Certainly the name, the school, all the things have done me well, but I do feel like I was not able to get that IP job, even though I had like the classes. So long story short, to my great surprise, I said, actually, it's so wonderful that you sent us that because we had been talking about how we can beef up the hospital molecular program.
Oh, wow.
Or the infection control program, and that they subsequently started a infection control certificate that following fall. Okay. Complete with like internship opportunities. And the program, I think, has been around for like, 13 to 15 years, I think.
Okay.
And many of their graduates of the program or the certificate are able to come right out and get IP jobs, which is not the norm.
Yes, yes.
So that's how I did it. I just spoke up, didn't think anything would come of it. And that's it.